Uh, Actually, in a design pattern, this is a MVC API project. So actually, in this project, we are mostly with dependency injections we are using, but some of the project we are using a singleton and factory design pattern. Yes, it's a design. Actually, .NET Core inbuilt is providing a you can create a three types of dependency, right? A scope and transient and singleton. So we are we are using a scope. Actually, singleton actually always we have a one object only. Same object is sharing across the application, but actually is scoped each and means each and every request is sharing a same object. If you're injecting a two times, three times, so it's just sharing a same object in the same one request, one object actually. It's transient. Transient actually every time when we are injecting any services in a controller, so every time is creating a new object. Actually, factory is in previous project actually we are using. So factory actually for creating a object. So actually we have a one factory class. So in this class, based on actually we have created one constant file based on a constant name is based on an instance name. We are just creating. So we for instance creation we have a separate file. If you want to change anything, go open that file and change it. So it will across the application we are using a same factory same file for creating an object actually. No, actually, this is a file name called a factory. So in this factory, we are just we have a different method, multiple method. So based on a conditions, we have a case. So based on a constant name means if based on a constant name, it's just creating a different class object and share returning that. Fact Factory means in future if you want to change means for a specific requirement you go with the means go with the create a different object, so easy to use actually, easily you can change anytime. Yeah, integration segregation also it's there, but actually main project we are using factory. Actually, that applications we are developed in actually this very old application. So in this application, we are using actually don't know why it's any specific because this is already developed application. We are just enhancing that. Actually, currently I'm working in a .NET 6 API. Yeah. Front end actually this is a maintenance thing. So currently I'm working in a React, so I'm adding and removing based on a requirement. We are doing some modifications. I'm not developed any new skill, but in Angular actually I have developed created worked on a multiple project, and I developed from scratch also. Angular, yeah, I'm more confident in Angular. Yes, .NET with Angular. I'm working as a full stack. So actually database side, we have a specific database DB guy to handle this, but actually some of the part we are also doing, but mostly I'm doing a front end plus API. Yeah, actually in a current organization, we are working in a microservices only. So each and every task actually for we have a different multiple repository and multiple repository. So internally we are connecting that. So Actually, in my current solution, we have a 24 repository. Actually, internally, we have a one EST app. It's called a React application. So in this React application, actually, we are calling means it's actually it's inside a MVC architect MVC project, and so we are calling a controller MVC controller. Inside a MVC controller, we are creating a object, new object based on condition, and we are calling a other means for appointment. We have a appointment APIs, and for availability we have different availability API, and like that we have a different repository. We are based on API, we are just targeting that. Yes, 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 yes. Yeah, actually, availability API and appointment API, branch API, and we have some consumer, Kafka consumer. So total, yeah. No, no, it's not possible. If users is available that day, then you can book a appointment actually in a you, yeah, appointment. Yes, 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 yes. So in a package level, actually, in a Oracle package we have. So inside of it, yeah, yeah, okay. Uh, yeah, actually, yes, yes, yes. Actually, other AP, actually, when we are booking any appointment, so we are regist creating one means booking a slot. So in this case, in a database level, we are just inserting this record now. And so in a appointment API, when we in a availability API, when we are getting a user's availability, that time we are getting means if users is available first in morning he is available 9 to 7, but if someone book a appointment 9 o'clock, so now users is available, it will return a 10 to 7, because his 1 hour is already booked. If user is not available in 12 because of some lunch break is also there, so he just actually the availability we are showing we in a calendar in a React side. So get no, actually we are sharing the same database. We are working in a same database base. Yes, Oracle. Yeah, it's a Oracle, one single database. Mm, actually, yeah, this is because we have a multiple repository, but we are using a same database across the application, because I'm working in a COMC application. So I am not only means this is a one Windows app. Inside a Windows app, multiple team working in a small screen, and we are integrating in a COMC. So actually, everyone sharing a same database. Actually, yeah, No, actually. For deployment purpose, we have one team city and slipstream. So by using these two portal only, we are deploying in Azure. Yeah. No, actually, this is a bank. It's more secure, so we don't have any access. So once CSDO team is there, he is responsible to configure each and everything. We are yes, actually we are just we are raising a PR, so we are working in our code, and we're raising a PR and merging this code in release branch or master branch. So once its release is done, it's automatically build triggered, and so build is done automatically. But after the deployment purpose, for deployment, it's manual process. You go to open a team city and just hit deployment. If you want to deploy T20 based on its requirement server, you can just select that server and deploy. Approved, yes. Yeah, yes, it's a job is there, but it's configured by a CSTO team. S- yeah, it's same as a DevOps team. Yeah. Got No, actually, Docker I haven't used. No, both are not used. Actually, market microservices actually in a we is interrelated, means specific tasks we are doing is separately. So if one server is goes down at all, it won't affect the whole functionality. That's why we are introducing a microservice. So that's why we have a 24 repository in my project. So each and every repository is doing some is one responsibility, means one branch repository is there. It's responsible for branch getting a branch, inserting and updating and all, and availability for availability purpose, appointment for appointment purpose, like that only. Yeah, we can, because here we are dealing with the API. We are just calling the APIs and getting the data. So no matter, you can actually in my project also some of the APIs developed in a old .NET framework, and for some of the few APIs developed in a .NET 6. Actually, we are just calling a URL, right? So in a ACDC, we are just configuring a is means API URL. So for this purpose, you go and hit that URL. Interpret. No, no, I don't know actually this. Actually, it's already there. Actually, this is a legacy. This is a old application. We are just doing as a maintenance work. So based on a requirement, we are just doing some changes in Oracle side or API side or UI side. No, actually, I am working actually in first. Actually, I have worked in a healthcare domain, construction domain, and banking domain. So messaging thing I haven't do. Yeah, Kafka we are using for sending a consumer and producer. So in our application, actually we are using this Kafka actually he's sending a message. It means consumer is just consuming when any new message receive, so he's just consuming that. So we have No, but this is a bank, so here we need a security. So that's why, and we are sending a message and multiple team receiving that. For example, we are sending a creating any appointment, booking an appointment. So some other team also using is just consuming that consumer and sending a mail, is doing something else, sending a mail and other thing actually is doing. Yeah, no, it's possible. Uh, yes, yes, you can do in a C sharp also. I forget a name, but in a no, uh, mm, no, actually Kafka we are using, but Kafka actually it's a because all big companies actually I think is using Kafka, but no, yeah. No, but don't know, but any maybe is some specific reason distributed system actually we are using. So don't know exactly, but me, uh, actually messaging queues in Kafka, right? So actually, yeah, in a actually message queue, when we are sending any message means creating a produce. Actually, we are calling a producer. We are a producer actually when we are booking appointment. We're producing a message. So Kafka, some other project also is there, or some other Coro team is there. He's using that. He's consuming that topic actually based on a response is sending a mail and SMS. Yeah, no, plain Sesha. Yeah, actually, plain advantage I think because it's a independent platform. Anyone can come. It's not not dependent on me. If anyone need that information, directly go and consume that topic, and you can start your work. So I think it's giving that this functional flexibility to. Yeah, Azure we are using. Actually, I have worked in a file upload functionality using creating a container and saving all files, and I have created one functions also in Azure, and so for DevOps we are using for source code management in previous organization, and actually, function you can create it directly. You can install from NuGet package manager and implement imp, just imp, as new uh, as sure uh, it is NuGet package manager is get package is there for Azure function can install and use actually a long package 2 year back actually I created, so don't remember fully. Actually function actually if actually in that time actually I got a requirement which means if we need to come like a scheduler actually we are using we need to send some data from one database to another, so for scheduler purpose actually we are using uh, trick 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 have developed actually this triggering purpose actually it's automatically set actually I haven't done this thing actually I've created and another team member is triggering, so but I is interval some interval based on an interval only means a specific time it will trigger automatically. No, actually. Yeah, .NET Core, I have developed API, know each and everything. Yeah, so yeah, for exception handling, actually, you can create a class, and in this class, you just actually implement a invoke method. So invoke method is accept a ISTTP instance. Remember that class name, but it accept that, and you can do your work. Is a um, uh, uh, ex- uh, uh, work, and you call it next if you want to means actually we are I have created a one middleware for a JWT token. So in this JWT token purpose, actually we have created, and for exception also we have handling by using a middleware only. Yeah, so middleware, actually it's a pipeline. So in a same as a pipeline means is executing one by one. Means if we configure a multiple, so it's considering first middleware. If everything goes correct, so it's calling a second middleware like that, and after that it's returning a response. And so you can means for example, we have a exception middleware. If you want to use a server static file, so use a static file static file middleware where, and for authorization middleware is there. So just like that it can configure in our app. Authentication and authorization, actually for this we are using actually this is a API project, so using a JW I have implemented. Yeah. So JWT token, I have installed a library from NuGet Package Manager, and he's accepted three. Actually, in this JWT token, we are just checking up. First of all, login API, we are checking the credentials if users is valid. So we are passing that to users information like ID, roles, and information to JWT. It will give a based on a one secret key. It will create a token and to send back. So in next time when user coming, and so we are just checking that token is valid or not. Yeah. mm, Login, you're talking about login screen. So login has been, yes, yes. Actually, for the login API, we are calling, actually in a login page, we are accepting our input, and based on input, we are calling a login API. So login API is checking a check responsible for just check a credential and roles and responsibility, and it will return a one token. So it we are saving in a actually in a local storage or session storage based on requirement, and just store it, and you in next time you are actually by using a interceptor, we are passing a same token to each, and we are just appending that author token information in each and every API using an interceptor. So again, in backend is calling API, and is in the side API we are checking validating that token. If it's valid, we are providing a access, we giving a data, otherwise we are rejecting that request. In backend side means API side. API is just to validate, is getting just checking in the database, and getting it means if user name and password is valid, so just provide access, otherwise reject it. Yes. Each and every request. So yeah, so actually we in Angular side we just install that library GWT GWT library. So by using this we can check which token is expired or not. So if actually refresh is not there in our application, I haven't implemented, but we that time if a token is expired, we are just showing one pop-up, your token login has been expired, and we are redirecting to the login page actually. And refresh, if we want, you can implement in a JWT site. So that time you just call that means refresh API, means refresh token URL, and you will get a new token and start communicating. So by using that refresh API, I haven't developed this, but some concept is there. You can refresh automatically. Yes, actually code first and data first. Some of the project data first and some of the project code first. Actually code first a few if is a small project, so that time we are using a code first approach, means the database and nothing is there. So code first approach, it giving a functionality you can easily deploy anywhere. If means it will create a database automatically when you when you deploy application any server. So it's good. So and when we are working in a old, means we are migrating project, means database is not there. So sometime based on a requirement, actually when checking with managers and which approach we are, based on a decision only we are going to do. So actually on mod actually that time, if you want to create introduce a new pro model in model, so that time you just migrate, run migration query and update, create a migration file and update in a database using a update database, and so it will send to a migration just in a console. You just write add migration and name of this, so it will generate a migration file. No, I don't remember all, but some NuGet library is there. I have installed that SQL library and some other also, but name I don't remember. Uh, to So again, you run a migration and update in a database. Yeah. Uh, Existing table, actually we have a uh, no, actually we are just updating, right? So we are not going to drop anything. We are just means alter table query is generated, right? So if requirement is a new structure, totally new structure, that I'm go and drop it and create a new one. But actually mostly we are just migrating that database. Actually only for mostly actually in entity framework, in primary key, it actually for this grade operation and all, actually I have created one extension method. So by using a extension method, we actually we are calling a procedures. So inside a procedures, get identity, select identity, and is scope identity is there. You just hit that and you will get, and in uh, get that method. Actually mostly we are using working in the procedures. No, DB context you can if it's a complex thing, so better to go with, in this case you go with the procedure, I think is better. Yeah, simply, yeah, you can insert it by using a repository path. I mean, directly you can insert in a using entity framework, and it will actually you can call some method, but I don't remember which. So you it entity framework also it will provide a identity because it automatically created. So it, get I don't remember that thing, but actually something is there. You will get that after saving. You will get. Yeah, yeah, it 2010, but I don't remember that which how to get actually. I have used it, but I don't remember that. Pagination. Uh, okay. Means in a table. Yeah, code first approach actually when we are creating a model, so that time you based on a data annotation actually, you can restrict. Yes, it will work. No, mm, one to ma one to many relations. You just actually we are working in a models, right? So models you call inside a model, one model inside the other model. So it will generate actually. If we have code first approach, we are doing it. So you just consume this that model in another class. Actually, this type of scenario, uh, yeah, some annotation thing. Data annotation is there. You can define in a when you're creating a column, you just define is this data uh, coming from this. So then, but actually, this type of scenario actually when used actually mostly most of the project actually we are using this database first approach because we are working in a migration project, and when we are working code first, this scenario actually I haven't tried. Yeah, yeah, yes, parent-child relationship is there, but we actually did this thing been done. Actually, one role screen is there. So in this screens, when user is created that time, admin mean he is giving a role. So based on a role, actually we are giving access in a front end in Angular level. If admin user, super admin user, and some other users, normal users. So based on our roles, we are showing some showing and hiding some screens. Hmm, predicate. No, actually. Function predicate, yeah, link, func predicate. Yep, function predicate actually. Yeah. Uh, yes. Paginations. Yeah, I have worked on that. So in a page for paginations, actually, if you are working in an entity framework, so entity framework will label just skip and take method. So by using this, we can achieve this. Yes, page number and page size, total the record page size. Yeah, page size. So we are just skipping that. Means if I'm working in a first page or second page, just skip that. Means if you're working in a first page and page limit is 25 or 10, so just skip 1 into 10 means number of record, and just skip that and take another 25 record or 10 record based on configuration. Yeah. Yeah, so actually enough when you're creating any object, so it will store in actually in a heap memory, and after that when we are block of code is done, is completed, or you are explicitly we are, if sometime we are inside a model we are creating a disposable and dispose method. If we call a dispose method, so it will sending to the garbage collector, so garbage collector take care and means release the memory after that. uh, means actually we are calling a dispose method, actually garbage inside a dispose method we are calling a fc super something. So it's just sending to the garbage collector, and after that it's a he's automatically based on, because when his applications is no his object is no longer used, so his garbage collector sort because that block of code is already executed, process is done, so is dot, yes. Uh, yes, actually, generic class actually I have used in one of the project we are developing in a API. So in this API, we need to send a specific response along with the error. Means in object we have some means status code success failure, and error message success message, and object. So in this case, actually we have created one generic class, so it accepts a T parameter. So when we are creating a object, means when we are going to send any response, we are just creating an object with that, we're just providing a class names on based on class it will generate a class or list object. So it will create actually generic class is we are providing and get saving our data, means providing a data, and so it will and after that we are sending a response. Y- yeah, actually when we are dealing with her database is link you, that time you better best way to go with the iCurable, because iCurable it's when you calling a two list or two array method, that time it's send creating a query and getting all data from database. But I enumerable each and every time when nine it's when you are writing and is without calling any this method is scope and tool, it is every time is ge- creating a query and getting data, trying to fetch a data from database, so it will decrease the performance actually. So iCurable is better. Means iCurable means if you are writing a link query, so when you're calling a dot to method to array or to list method, that time is getting data from database. But I enumerable is before the before calling this to array or to array method, it's calling get call hitting a database and getting a data. So it will decrease the performance if you again apply going to apply some other conditions, means filter and all, so it will decrease the performance actually. So sorry, I curable actually we are using when we are working dealing with the entity framework. No, actually iNumerable normally we are using this non database operation. If we have an in-memory object, that time go with the iNumerable. uh, because database it's a complex thing, if you're hitting again and again, so it will decrease the database performance, is increasing a server load, right? So in I performance issue actually, performance issue because if actually I have a one link query, in this link query I am still appending, means I have write a one block of code again based on a condition, I'm going to append a new conditions, means filtering a trying to filter a record. But if you're using I enumerable, So is in first line of block of code is executing and getting a data, and after that we are applying some other filters also based on a condition. So again he's going to database and filtering a record. So two times is filtering record. But if you're using a I enumerable, so it's only one go it's getting a data when you calling a to array or to list method. Offline and online. Yeah, online. Actually, I don't know exact information, but I learned because dealing with the server and is the database entity framework. Dealing with the entity framework, that time I maybe I don't know exactly this online and offline thing, but I queryable I think and offline. I enumerable. Yes. I enumerable. I enumerable. It's in offline. I online. I queryable. If literally if any we have a performance issue, so that time you just check why is getting means maybe is a procedure is taking a time. So just work on this. Yeah. So and when you get calling a data, so that time you use log no least performance for performance improvement you need to work on these tables and all. So just implement uh, mean this indexes and all, so it will provide a better performance. Yes, caching is there. Yeah, caching actually we are not using means some of the APIs we are using means the master API data what API is returning. So that time on, yes, server caching. Server in memory means server side we are storing.